Hi everybody, this is Ruben, your social science teacher. Nice to meeting you all after a very long time. So hopefully you all have completed your term 1 examination with greater ease since all the centers are your home school. You didn't have any kind of fear and you have written it well. So it sounds really great. And for the term 2 we cannot expect the same. Hopefully we will be writing in the centers allotted by the CBSE board. So thank you all for watching our videos and just following up, subscribing, all those. So now for the term 2. Okay, so we have got again the 4 different denominations. So in that in today's class we are going to talk about economics chapter 3, that is money and credit. So hopefully you all might be aware comparatively the term 2 is quite easier than term 1. Okay, here we have got very limited chapters with little concepts. So especially in economics, we won't say anything in detail. Okay, so CBSE, they know your standard and accordingly they have just reduced all those. So hopefully you all will like this particular chapter because what we are seeing in our daily life, okay, that is what this chapter is all about. So let us move on to the topic now. This is what our economics chapter, okay, money and credit. So in this, first, we will discuss about money. Okay, you all know, I'm pretty sure that all our exchange of process, exchange of goods, everything is happening only through money. So, money here it is acting as a medium of exchange. So, here we are going to discuss a lot of facts regarding to that, and in the end of the chapter, we will see about different credit activity. Okay, credit or loan, what we are getting from the bank, all those. Okay, so hopefully you will enjoy this chapter for sure. So now, what is given in the first? Okay, so contents, in the content list. So we must know what are all the concepts we are discussing in this particular chapter. Okay, number 1, we are going to see about money. So money, so it's that it's a medium of exchange. So before invention of money, what was our thing? What was the medium of exchange? That we need to know. And the modern form of currency in the olden days. Okay, so what we have used for money, all those. Okay, that we will be discussing. And money as a medium of exchange. That is what we are talking about. Okay, so money as a medium of exchange. So before going to that, you must know what is called a barter system. Okay, so in today's world, we have modern form of currencies, paper notes and coins, different things. But in the ancient days, how the transactions have been made by the people, that is nothing but without using money, they have exchanged their goods. That is called barter system. And the limitations of barter system, because barter system was not at all helpful in some areas, okay, which has got some drawbacks that we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. And modern forms of money, so you all might be aware of all these. What are all the deposits with the banks and currency, all those, okay, loan activities from the banks, that we will discuss. Okay, so this chapter covers those things. And credit, so credit is all about loan activity. So here we have got 2 different denominations, that is formal and informal loans. So formal in the sense you are dealing with bank, that too nationalized banks, so where the interest rate will be very minimal. Okay, informal again it talks about, it's not about bank, which could be your friends, relatives, money lenders, and so many things like that. Okay, it is all about credit, that is formal and informal loans. And the terms of credits, okay, if it is a formal sector, definitely just like that money can't be given to you. So you have to produce certain certificates in order to get loan. That is called terms of credit. So there are certain terminologies. And self-help groups. Okay, so now everybody knows India is a developing country. So we are yet to develop a lot. So the government have introduced a lot of schemes in order for the betterment of our people. Okay, that is called self-help group. In order to connect the rural poor background with the formal sector. Okay, why we have to connect the rural background? Because we are going to see there are so much of variations, okay, with the urban state and the rural state. Because in the urban areas, people are aware that the loans are very easily can be got by the people, and they are utilizing with minimal interest rate. But in the rural case, due to the lack of collateral and so many other disadvantages, people are afraid to approach the bank, and the loan in getting the loan is also somewhat tedious for them. So in order to help the poor rural background, so we have started the scheme called self-help group, which with this the poor households can easily reach out the bank. They could save some money. Okay, we are going to discuss in detail about the functioning, objectives and advantages of it. Clear? I hope now you have got a very clear cut idea about what we are going to discuss in this chapter. Okay, so let's move on to the topic now. Here, when we talk about money, okay, so before going to talk about money, you need to know a very important system called barter system. Okay, what do you mean by that? Barter system. So your barter system is an old method of exchange. Okay, right now it is not existed, but where once upon a time we were used the barter system. Okay, that is the old method of exchange. What we are going to see in this barter system, this system has been used for centuries. Okay, and long before money was invented. So when we were not having money, by that time we had only gone with barter system. Okay, so barter system is all about exchange of goods without involving money in it, and people exchanged services and goods for other services. Okay, other services and goods in return. So whatever the service you do, whatever the work you do, in return you won't be paid cash. For that, food grains can be given. Okay, for example, you might have seen in many places. Okay, so you might have seen in many places when you do work, okay, instead of money, instead of your payment, they could give you some food grains. Most predominantly which would happen in agricultural sector. Okay, so when you do work in the fields, you will be paid with food grains. Okay, this is called, for the service, in return you are getting food grains. This is called a barter system. Clear? So in barter system, the 2 points you have to remember. One is exchange of goods is taking place without using money. So here they could exchange, okay, the services and the goods for other services and goods in return. Understand? You are not at all involving money in it. So define barter system. For that, you could write this. And limitations of barter system. So of course, when we don't have money, barter system was very useful because we don't know any other methodology at that time. So we had gone with barter system, but this barter system had some limitations. Okay, there are some disadvantages in it. So we are going to see what are all the disadvantages of it. So lack of double coincidence of wants. Okay, so here you have to understand about one thing. Okay, let me explain you this with a simple example. There you could find a shoemaker. Okay, take a shoemaker. Okay, and a farmer. Okay, so farmer, the one who is dealing with the agricultural activity. Okay, he has got some wheat, rice, whatever. Okay, so he has got food grains. And in case of shoemaker, so he is manufacturing shoes. So now the thing is, the shoemaker wants food grains to eat. Okay, he has to survive, no? So for that he requires food grains. Okay, so for that the barter system is not at all useful. The thing is, he has got shoes. So first of all, he has to sell the shoes to we cannot exchange the shoe and the food grains directly, because in the double coincidence of want, both the parties should require the same thing. Okay, they have to have, they need to have some mutual understanding. Here the farmer should require shoe in order to give him food grains. Okay, this is called a double coincidence of wants, but it is not at all possible. What he is going to do, the farmer is going to do with the shoemaker, he may not require that. Clear? So he may not require the shoes. So in those areas, barter system was not useful. Okay, so and difficulty of, what is the other difficulty? Difficulty of storing values, and deferred payments are difficult. Obviously, you cannot compare, okay, the value of shoe with food grains. Okay, you will have difference in case of prices, and some goods are indivisible. So with concerning, okay, so taking all these into our account, we cannot go with barter system. Okay, so of course which was useful in the ancient period, but it has got some limitations. So the arrival of modern currency. Okay, so before that, in the ancient period, you could see so much of coins were introduced during the olden regimes. Okay, like Gupta's coins, Akbar coins. Okay, in those reigns, coins were introduced. So what is the difference between modern currency? Okay, modern currency was very useful when it was first introduced, which was first introduced by Chinese. The paper currency was first introduced by Chinese. Okay, so when we, the Indians, have started using it, we have started using the paper currencies in the year 1861. Clear? So in the year 1861, we have started using paper currencies in India. Okay, so during Lord Canning. Understand? This you have to be clear. Okay, so during 1861 we have started using paper currencies in India. That means modern currencies. In modern currencies we could find coins, okay, paper currencies, coins with different dimensions. Okay, usually the coins are made of copper, nickel, all those. Okay, so some metals. And in case of paper currencies, which is made of 75% of cotton and 25% of linen in India. Understand? So these are all the texture of our paper currency and the coins which we are using in our daily life. Clear? So you could see that, which is not when we dip the paper currencies in the water, which won't get spoiled. Okay, if you just dry it up, you can use it as it is. Clear? So the reason is it is made up of cotton majority. Okay, cotton is the major content. And a medium of exchange. So now we can see that money is acting as a medium of exchange that functions as a legal tender. Okay, so legal tender. So why the money is accepted? In the sense which eliminates double coincidence of wants. In the case, okay, in the example we have seen that the shoe manufacturer and the farmer faced such kind of problem, right? Because they may not have double coincidence of wants. But when we start using money, definitely we no need to bother about what other people are wanting it, whether he likes it or he may not like, he may like. Okay, so he doesn't want to bother about that because money eliminates double coincidence of wants. Okay, if the shoemaker wants to have some food grains, he can sell the shoes to somebody, okay, those who are in the need of it, and in return he can get money. Okay, so with that money he could get the food grains. Okay, so here the money is acting as a medium of exchange. So money in return money can be got, okay, for anything, for the service, for the products, for the goods, whatever. So whatever be the thing, in return money can be used as a medium of exchange. Clear? So money, it eliminates double coincidence of wants. And the official currency in the form of banknotes, coins, etc. used by the government or other authority. Okay, in India, RBI is the only authorized sector to produce paper currencies. In India, we have got printing presses in the two major parts, that is in Nasik one and one more is in the Mysore. Clear? So here we are printing the paper currencies, and at the same time RBI is the only authority. No separate institutions or no separate organization can print that. It's illegal according to our Indian rules and regulations. And the thing is, a particular denomination or form of currency. So here money is acting as a medium of exchange nowadays because it eliminates double coincidence of wants, and at the same time it is accepted by our government of India. Understand? And the other thing, what is money? How does the use of money make it earlier? So that we have seen. Now we are just looking into modern form of money. So that we have already discussed. Paper currencies is made up of cotton and linen, and coins are made up of copper, silicon, all those. So check without using cash. Okay, we cannot carry the cash all the time. So instead of cash, we could use check also. With this we will just discuss Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so in the check leaf, before going to this, in the check leaf you could see, okay, in whose name the transaction must be paid. Okay, the name of the candidate can be, and when you are giving check, you need to have an account with the bank. Okay, that is mandatory, and at the same time you could go, the check can be bounced if with the insufficient funds with the bank accounts. So you need to have some minimal amount of thing. There are possibilities of bouncing of check. If it is bounced, you can file a case against them. Clear? There are certain limitations in using check also. So check is also a medium of exchange. Instead of money we are using it. Clear? And most important organization in India is RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. So the RBI issues currency notes, okay, so which deals with money, issues currency notes on behalf of the central government, okay, on the guidelines given by the, by the guidelines given by the central government, which prints the paper currencies. Clear? So here you need to understand one thing, when, so when we have got this thing, RBI was first set up in the year April 1935. Okay, so during the British regime, the RBI was set up, but finally, which was nationalized by our Indian government. Okay, in 1949. In 1949, we have officially changed the RBI. Okay, one thing, RBI was first set up in the place Calcutta. Okay, so in 1935, but later which was permanently moved to Mumbai. Do you understand? So these are all the very important facts relevant with Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so and at the same time, you have to see who is the first Governor General of RBI and so many other informations, if possible, just collect for your information. Clear? So as per Indian law, no other individual or organization is allowed to issue currency. Okay, that's very important factor again. So we are not supposed to print the paper currencies. It is against law. Moreover, it is considered illegal. Okay, so I hope you have got some very important facts relevant with money and the use of medium of exchange and about RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So now we are going to discuss about the deposits in the bank. So what are all the deposits can be made in the bank, that we need to know. So here when we talk about deposits in the bank, okay, so since the British period we have got banks. Okay, for the first time modern currencies are used in the year 1861 by the Lord Cannings. Okay, they have introduced modern currencies, and thereafter since then we have started using it. Okay, they have started set up different banks, and finally we too had nationalized banks. Okay, so the deposits in the bank, now we are talking about deposits. So it is actually acting as a medium between citizens. Okay, so banks will function mainly on two things. One thing is with the deposits, and the other thing by giving loans. How the banks are giving loans, what is the function of bank, that we have to understand. So in order to understand that, first we will see deposits. Okay, why we have to make deposits with the bank? It's quite simple. We cannot see if you are earning a lot. Okay, if you want to save something with your earnings, definitely you can make use of the bank for the depositing purpose. So the other form in which people hold money is as deposits with the bank. Okay, clear? We cannot carry all the time. Okay, growing of robbery, going of thefts, it's highly impossible to maintain everything at home. Nowadays we are depositing in the banks too, okay, which is for the safety purpose, and they deposit it with the banks by opening bank account in their name. So obviously if you want to do any kind of transaction through bank, you must have an account in the bank in your name, and banks accept the deposits and also pay an amount as interest on the deposits. So that's very important. Banks, of course, they will accept your deposits. Instead, okay, in return you will be paid interest. Okay, so that's very important. So it's your money. When you are depositing that in the bank, you will be paid interest. Okay, so based upon the bank norms. In this way, people's money is safe. Of course, our money is safe, but at the same time we are getting interest too, and it earns an amount as interest, obviously. Okay, if you keep that amount with you, nothing you are going to gain. Okay, so that is highly impossible. Maybe considering the safety factor, depositing your money in the bank is safety, number one, and at the same time it ensures your safety, number one. Number two, which gives you some amount as an interest. Another thing, since the deposits in the bank, okay, so the deposits whatever do in the bank accounts, can be withdrawn on demand. Okay, so when you do, especially demand deposits, so deposit is nothing but you are depositing, you are just giving some amount to the bank. Okay, so which can be withdrawn at any time whenever you want, but on the demand. Okay, such kind of deposits are called demand deposits. Okay, withdrawn on demand. These deposits, the thing is, so you can we could use in a fixed manner. Okay, for example, I have got some 2 lakhs. Okay, that I'm just scared about my neighbors or about somebody. I'm going to deposit that amount in my bank account. Okay, for that bank will definitely pay me some interest, some amount will be paid as an interest. So for that, when I am depositing, okay, so they will give some schemes. Okay, for 2 years this much of amount will be given when you are just withdrawing it. For 3 years, so with that demand they will take our account, amount. Okay, this is called demand deposit. Okay, so when you are doing this amount can be withdrawn at any time whenever you want. Okay, on demand you can withdraw the money. This is called demand deposit. Demand deposits are different from demand draft, that you have to be clear. Understand? I hope now you have got some little idea about money and the bank activities. Okay, so these things are very normal and quite easier, children, what you are seeing in your daily life. Okay, that's all about money and the modern currency and about bank deposits. Okay, so in the next chapters, demand deposits. Okay, it is this facility which lends it to the essential characteristics of money. Demand deposits share the essential feature of money. Okay, so the facility of checks. Okay, here also we have seen about checks. Okay, the checks against demand deposits. So what is the demand deposit and what about check? Check is also a medium of exchange, makes it possible to directly settle payments without the use of cash. Understand? So without the use of cash, we could use check. Okay, you no need to pay them by cash. You can just include the account number and their name, so that the bank will give them that particular amount. So and so you are directing the bank to give this much of amount to somebody. Clear? That is the use of check. Since demand deposits are accepted widely as a means of payment, so demand deposits also accepted as a widely accepted as a payment. So here, along with currency, they constitute money in the modern economy. So all these things are widely accepted and used in India. Okay, we are using check, demand deposits and other modes of exchange also. So money is accepted as a medium of exchange, and we have discussed about demand deposits and about check. Clear? So in the next video, we will see about loan activities of banks. So now I have seen, okay, we all are, in India, many of them have deposited their money in the bank. Okay, so now how bank is functioning, how they are giving loans to the poor households. So that we will see the loan activities and the terms of loans. Clear? So thank you all for watching this video. Kindly subscribe and like the video, share the video. Okay, do all those things. We will meet you in the next video. Thank you all. Bye bye.